I'm speechless because number one, only Gabi would get 2 birthday parties in a year. And number two, she actually invited me. Look at the card. Sure thing, I say, because I would never turn down a party, obviously. Then Gabby and Carol skipped towards school to hang out more invitations. This makes me stop and wonder about my own party. Maybe dream day was just a dream. At recess, Lily, Jasmine, and I met at the hideout, which is under the slide. We have to crawl through a tunnel to get to it. Once inside, I tell my friends about my dream and how I felt so real. My friends laugh. Sorry, guys. You should write your dream in your journal, Jasmine suggests. You know, the one your grandmother gave it to you. I feel my eyebrows shoot straight up. I forgot all about my journal and it's been sitting in the bottom of my backpack for weeks. I grab my backpack and dig in. Let's see what she's trying to look for. Found it! I found the journal so my friends can see. This is where I invented Posy in the first place. My friends giggle. Duh, Daisy, Lily says. We know. We've been making up stories about Posy for a long time now. Jasmine nods, but I just stare at my friends. What did they just say? That we made up Posy stories? Posy stories? Posy stories. Chapter 5. Let's see what we have in the book. Posy stories. I flip through the pages of my journal. There are so many Posy adventures. All of them begin with a story starter written by my grandmother, Ipsy. There are even pictures to go with each story. Do you want to read some, Daisy? Lily asks. Yep, go for it, Jasmine says. I open to the story about the snow and read the story starter. What would you do with your imaginary friend on a snow day? Then I whisper, that was the day Posy and I went bed sledding. This is called bed sledding. Jasmine and Lily suddenly look confused. By the way, children, I do not want you to do something like this. It is dangerous until and unless your parents permit you, okay? All right, you weren't there. I remind them, a bed sled is a bed that can sled. Posy and I bed sledded all over the worm. We meet the slow animals, critters made of snow. Then we visited an ice castle and met a yeti named Naklin. Naklin. There is the yeti. Let's see, where is the yeti? Can you see the yeti? Sure. We also had a giant snow-bearing fight. Zinc splat spoof. Before my friends can say anything, I flip through the pages until I found the story starter that reads, what would happen if your imaginary friend went to the beach with you? I laugh because so much can happen when you take your imaginary friend to the beach. This, I point to the page in the book. This was the day Posy and I went to the beach with my cat. Sir Pounce snuck along. Okay, so this is Sir Pounce who's going to snuck along with them to the beach. Do you see what they have? They have these snorkeling gears here. Then Posy turned me into a mermaid and Sir Pounce into a fish so we could travel underwater. We met a lost octopus named Inky and a hole named Humphrey, and we found buried treasure. We found buried treasure. Let's see what the buried treasure is. Here's the treasure. There's Mr. Octopus. This looks like... Who is this? Who is this? You let me know. Starts with a D. Jasmine and Lily just sit there, and I realize that I should remind them about one of the adventures with Posy. Okay, this one is for you. It's a doozy. I read the story starter. What if your imaginary friend decides to go to the school with you for a day? Now my friends laugh. What is this? Spooky. Okay, I'm going to give you a hint. We see this during Halloween. Okay. I love the story, Lily says. It's about Posy stowing away in your backpack. I nod wildly. It was a total disaster. Remember when the bag of glitter exploded all over me? Lily laughs. And then Posey's woe friends took over the cafeteria and the playground. Look at that. Jasmine shakes her head. No, it's the warm world of make-believe. Oh yeah, sorry, says Lily. It's hard to keep track of all these made-up names. My mouth drops open because I'm shocked. These names are not made up. Ta-da, they're having fun. Jasmine sees my reaction and quickly changes the subject. Anyway, are you guys going to Gabby half birthday? Definitely, Lily says. But I'm stuck shaking my head because I'm so mixed up. Of course, these stories are real, and Posey and all his friends are real too, right? Chapter 6. Wow, I love these flip-flops. Bunny flip-flops. Spin and dare. Daisy, Mom calls after dinner. I need your help. Oopsie's coming to visit this weekend and the house is a mess. I run downstairs and look around. Mom's right. The house is a mess. There are board games out, playing cards on the floor, and 2 falling down blankets in the middle of the family room. My friend Posey could clean up the mess in a snap, I say. But he's not around. Mom laughs. Well, luckily I have you and Dad. We each get to work. I pick up my games, fold the blankets, and play 52 card pickup by picking. Wow. Look, they cleaned up the cards. Dad empties the wastebasket. Mom does the dinner dishes. Then we must dust and vacuum. And before long, I'm wiped out, tired. Guys, what do you do? What do you do to clean up the house? With a huge yawn and a stretch, I barely make it to bed before I fall totally asleep. The next day is the most normal day ever. Nothing magic happens at all, but I don't mind. Some days are like that, I guess. I make the magic days even more magic. After school, Lily, Jasmine, and I go to Gabby's party. Every kid I know is there. Daisy, Gabby, cheers, you came. Come over and play. We're playing spin and dare. Can you see? Gabby. Do you see? Again, it's Gabby. And we have a lot of balloons. We have friends over here. We have cake. I know this game. Players sit in a circle with a bottle in the middle. One person spins the bottle, and if it points to you when it stops, then you have to pick a dare from a basket. If you do not perform the dare, you are out, obviously. You are out. O-U-T, out. So you want to be careful not to be out. The winner gets a gift card to Icing on the Cake. Gabby announces, icing on the cake happens to be the best bakery around. Ooh, we all exclaim. Then Gabby spins the bottle and it lands onto me. Have you ever played this game, guys? I dig for a dare and read it aloud. I dare you to tell a story. Lily and Jasmine squeal because they know I love to tell stories. Okay, here goes I begin. One day, Jasmine, Lily, and I were playing at the park and our magical friend, Posey. Jasmine's basketball flew over the fence and we found it by the old well. Gabby smiles. That was my wish from the well. But how do you know that? Lucky guess. I suggest and all the guests laugh. What about me? Asks Carol. Can you guess my wish from the well? Sure, I say. You wished you could talk to animals. How? She says with a giggle. How could you know that? Everyone knows that, admits Gabby. You tell it to anyone who will listen. Then I shrug and wrinkle my nose. But there's a teensy problem with your wish, Carol added. They're having a talk. There was once a pack of squirrels that found out that you could talk to animals. And they had tons of questions to ask you, I told her. Be careful what you wish for, I guess. The room shrieks with laughter. Then I turned to John Gates. It wasn't just Carol, John. You wished you could fly, but then you couldn't get back on the ground. And Wren Sinclair wished for 1,000,000 cats, but that meant she had to clean up after 1,000,000 cats. OMG, so many cats. Wren covers her mouth with her hand and rest of the kids fall on one another with laughter. So you see, I go on. The wishes made everything out of control. Posey tried to reverse the wishes, but he only made them more powerful. Everyone's eyes are fixed on me. What happened next, Daisy? Cabby asks, looking a little scared. Luckily, there was only one person in the whole town who had never made a wish at the well. I say, who? The group asks. Do you see that cute little group? Everybody's sitting around and having fun. Me, I say with a smile. I flipped a coin in the well and wished for everything to go back to normal. And shrieking, all the wishes disappeared and the matter stopped. The end. All the guests clap for my story, and suddenly the day feels magic again. OMG, do you see the coin? Flipping into the well. Chapter 7. Surprise! I wake up the next morning and feel like I've been dreaming for days. What if I have? What if this was all a dream? I jump out of bed and grab an erasable marker from my desk. Then I saw a door on the wall, right next to my bedroom door. Squeak, squeak, squeak. I knock on my freshly drawn door. Posey mostly always answers when I knock on the drawn door. See? So our Pounds watches and waits too. I knock again, louder this time. I put my ear to the door and I hear footsteps. Daisy, a voice calls out. Daisy Dreamer. A door opens, but it's not my hand-drawn door. It's my bedroom door. My grandmother peeks inside. I didn't mean to wake you. Oopsie, she says. Since you're up, I'd love to take you for breakfast. The word breakfast makes my stomach growl loud. What makes Oopsie and me laugh? Of course, I say, I'd love to have breakfast with you, Oopsie. Let me get changed. She's in her pajamas. Time to change. As I run to my dresser, I take the last peek at the door on the wall. There is still no sign of Posey. Then I realize something new. Maybe Oopsie will have an answer. Chapter 8. The letter. Oopsie takes me to my favorite breakfast spot, the Flapjack Shack. I order a sticky stack of chocolate chip pancakes. I poke at my pancakes with my fork. I'm hungry, but I don't feel like eating. What's the matter, Daisy? I sip my water. Oh, nothing, I say. Do you see? What do you think would be the name of this cafe? Let's name this cafe. Try naming this cafe. Oopsie rests her head on her arm. I can tell something wrong and maybe I can help. I sigh. Okay, I begin. The trouble is with my imaginary friend Posey. He's gone missing. We used to have adventures together all the time. He was even planning a special day, dream day for me. But now I'm getting to think Posey is all my imagination and I'm all mixed up. Oopsie gets very quiet, but I can tell she's trying to figure out what to say. She probably thinks I'm being silly, like a little kid, so I try to erase what I said. Never mind, Oopsie, I tell her. I mean, all this make-believe stuff is so babyish. But Oopsie shakes her head. It's not babyish, Daisy, she says. Imaginations make the impossible possible. Once upon a time, people only imagined flying like birds, and then they invented airplanes. People also dreamed about going to the moon, and then they really walked on the moon. Wow. Next, Oopsie pulls a piece of paper from her purse. Do you remember this letter? She asks, handing it to me. Of course I remember it, I say. I'm the one who wrote it. I had written Oopsie a letter and given her a story starter when I was trying to help a new friend in the world of make-believe. The story starter was, there was a magical friend named Sweetheart. A magical name named Sweetheart. Look at that. Maybe that is Sweetheart. On the back of the letter, I made a dot-to-dot drawing of Sparkle Fairy. Oh, that is Sparkle Fairy. Beautiful, isn't it, guys? Can you see? Posey was the one who delivered this letter to you, I say. This is proof of my Posey adventures were real. Well, almost real, Oopsie says with a wink. Now it's time to wake up. Miss Daisy Dreamer. Chapter 9. Time to wake up. Rise and shine. And then I do wake up. I'm in my own bed. But wait, I am not in my own room. And I'm not alone. Is that you, Sour Pounds? I call. Then I see my beloved purple friend. Nope, it's me, he cheers. Posey, I shout. It's so good to see you. Posey smiles and then turns away. Hey everyone, look, he shouts. Daisy's awake. Let's get this dream day started. Posey bounces over and he pulls me out of bed. Come on, Daisy Dreamer. I have something to show you. Look what's going on. Posy leads me to a giant playroom. Twinkly lights dot the ceiling like starry gems. Sorry. I see indoor swings, a dance floor, and a live band. There are round tables and party hats, noisemakers, a bouquet of light balloons. But best of all, I see everyone I invited to my party. There's Jasmine, her lost and now friend imaginary, Kit Kat, and there's Lily and Oopsie with sparkle fairies. And I see pretty pixies, hot toppers, snow animals, and Nacklin, my Yeti friend. Where is Nacklin? Where is Nacklin? I'm trying to spot Nacklin here. Can you see Nacklin? Guys, what if you had a Yeti friend? Imagine you having a Yeti friend. Cool, right? Then Posy jumps onto the stage and grabs the microphone. Welcome to Daisy's Dream Day. Daisy has a spectacular imagination. She's not only part of what makes the womb magical, she makes it real for everyone. Thanks, Daisy. Now let's get this party started. Then everyone cheers. And I cheer too, because who doesn't like a party with friends, real, imaginary, obviously. This is true, a Daisy dream come true. Look at that. That's the Yeti friend. The real deal. Chapter number 10. Oh my goodness, that looks like we have a lot of goodies over here. I try a little bit of everything. I have a Daisy dreamsicle, which is orange popsicle and a vanilla ice cream daisies. I take one sticky bite of caramel apple, 2 nibbles of a popcorn ball, and 2 huge chomperoos of one of my frizzy cupcakes. Then I offer treats to all of my friends. Once we have eaten, it's time for the games to begin. God. Now I'm ready to motor. I play glow-in-the-dark hopscotch games with Jasmine. I hop on the indoor swings with Lily. And I boggle on the dance floor with my warm friends. Oh, wow. Look at that. Looks like a fun day. Then Posy waits for me to follow him outside. How do you like your Daisy Dream Day? Posy asks. I lean back and sigh happily. It's the dreamiest, I say. The world of make-believe stretches out before us. It sparkles with colors that I can describe. Cloud, critters, wave to see as they float through the sky. It's almost too good to be true, Posy. I had a really bad dream this week, or at least I think it was a dream, I begin. I dreamed that you were just in my imagination, that none of us adventures were real. Posy smiles warmly and says, Daisy, don't you know your imagination is 100% real? Everyone's imagination is real. Our imagination is what makes us special. It makes us one of a kind. Do you believe, guys, that your imagination is real? Does whatever you imagine come true? Then Posy points to the valleys, lakes, and mountains beyond. Just look, Daisy. This is your world of make-believe, he cries. There are millions of others, but this one is yours. We can go wherever you want. We can meet whoever you like. So where do you want to dream next? I feel a huge smile bloom on my face. I reach out and grab Posy's hand. Anywhere, I say, so long as I'm with you. And suddenly I know in my heart that Posy and Worm are real because they are a part of me. Wow. And they will always be a part of me, no matter how grown up I get. They are on the cloud with stars. And that is the end. You want to see the last picture once again? We have these mountains with snow, these trees that look like candies, and they are on the cloud. No matter how grown up I get. That's the end of the story. Sweet dreams are made of these. So maybe this is a dream after all. Would you like to share your dream? Would you like to listen to one more story? How did you like the story? Let me know. Okay? Bye.